Uh-oh. Are we going? Are we going? Hey, I think we're going. Maybe. Good morning. How is everyone?
Hey, I think we're going.
Look at me showing up with my wet hair. How are you doing? How's your life? How's your business? Mine's crazy. A lot of people forget that I am actually a working photographer, and so I do have clients still, and I do have to make sure that they're taken care of. So there's a lot going on right now. People are ready to get back to their lives. They're ready to move forward with the things that they love and the things that they've always wanted to do. And I am one of those. Well, that sounded weird. That's not what I meant. Welcome, welcome. Let me mute my phone. My kids are doing their chores, so my phone is going crazy. How are you doing? If you're watching on YouTube and you want to be a part of the conversation, head on over to businessstraightup.com/community and join us. So I wanted to talk today a little bit about a podcast episode that's coming out this week. You may have noticed I've been a little absent from my podcast. It's not because I don't love you all. It's just because my life was a little crazy for a little bit. You guys know that because I was here and I was still showing up here, but that's actually what we're going to talk about in the podcast episode is figuring out the minimum options, because when your life is crazy, you can't just drop everything, right? Unless you have a team that's going to handle everything or unless you've prepared. But if something happens, you can't just be like, I'm just not going to respond to anyone. When you run a business, that's not how it works. And so it's really important to know the minimum things that you need to do consistently so that you're showing up in your business so that you're not just dropping people. I see people coming in. So say hi if you're here, because it always feels good to know you're not talking to yourself. I think the Air Force is doing training today. So if you hear the jets, my apologies. We live by an Air Force base and they can be very, very loud. So as you come in, say hello. I can see people watching. I just don't know who. If you're watching on YouTube, come on over, join us in the community at businessstraightup.com/community. Hey, Amanda, girl, you and I have talked about this because May was crazy for me and I just was not feeling the most amazing in May. Yeah, Amanda said they're definitely training today. I know, they've been so loud. The jets are going nuts. May was just a hard month. And it was something that I couldn't control. It was surgeries from my family. It was a whole bunch of school stuff. It was a whole bunch of other stuff I had to take care of. I see you coming in. Say hi in the comments. And so it kind of just ended up being a swim or maybe just float situation instead of swimming, when you're in survival mode instead of thriving. And that's going to happen in your life. That's okay. And in your business. And that's okay too. That was May for me. And so I had my minimum viable option, or I don't remember what one of my friends called it, but minimum viable something, where in your business, what is the absolute minimum that I must do in order to keep my business going and not watch it completely flop, but still take care of myself and my family and do what I need to do. So that's what we are going to talk about in this week's podcast episode. But I also wanted to talk a little bit today about binary action. So I don't know if I have any geeks watching, but excuse me. For anyone unfamiliar, basically everything that you're looking at online, every bit of data that you see, that you hear, that you watch is in binary code. Well, most of it. And binary code is just a series of zeros and ones. So there's literally two options. There are no twos, there are no threes, there are no fours, there are no A's, B's, C's. It's 0 or 1. That's it. There's nothing else to it. And so what binary action means is to take the actions that you need to take regardless of the result. And so what does this look like? This looks like if you have a goal of being published so many times, let's say I want to be published 10 times this year, and that's a goal for you. And I'm not saying it should be, I'm just picking out random goals. If you have a goal of, say, I'm going to be published 10 times this year, and you're not submitting for publication, then chances are you're probably not going to meet that goal. Now, you can't control whether they accept you, right? You can't control whether they say yes. There are things that you're not going to be able to control. You can't control whether someone says yes. You can't control whether you're accepted. You can't control even whether a client says yes. When you meet with a client and you're like, I think would be a really good fit, and they're not there yet. They're not ready for that yet. Maybe they are just not ready to make a decision, or maybe you're not even the right person for them. But the point is, did you put yourself out there and do what you could control? Did you take the action that you can personally control? That's what binary action is. It's a yes or no. That's all it is. And so many of us come up with these crazy excuses as to why we couldn't do something. Like, for instance, for me in May, with all of the shit going on, I was not consistent with my podcast. And binary action, I just didn't do it. I didn't do the actions that I needed to do because my team was gone and I was not available to be as present as I wanted to. I just didn't do it. Now, whether you make that good, bad, or other is your choice, okay? It's neutral. Any circumstance in your life is just neutral. It just happened. That's it. So if you broke your leg, it just happened. Now, does it hurt? Yes. Does it suck? Yes. But it can mean whatever you want it to mean. There's no meaning to anything except for the meaning we actually give it. So if you submit for publication and they don't accept you, is it bad? No, just means they didn't accept you. You don't know why. Maybe they were full for the month. I need lip color, sorry. Let me know in comments what you're thinking. And if you're watching on replay, do a hashtag team replay in the comments. Anytime I hear like team something, it makes me think of Team Edward and Team Jacob. So binary action, all it is taking the actions that you need and want to take to reach your goals. That's it. And there is no excuse. There is no good or bad. There is no reason why you didn't do it or you did. You just do it. So for instance, one of my binary actions that I have not been very good at yet lately is submitting for guest speaking on other people's podcast appearances, because I enjoy it. And because I want to grow my audience and work with more women. Because I believe so strongly in empowering women to live their own lives, to be financially independent, to run their own businesses, to know with confidence that they got this shit. And I want to go on other podcasts to figure that out. Well, guess what? Podcasts are not going to come knocking down on my door. Publications are not going to come knocking on your door. Clients are not going to come knocking on your door. Are you taking the action that you need to take to make that happen? Am I taking the action I need to take to get on other podcasts? Lately, no, I have not been. As we've talked about previously, and we will talk about in the podcast episode, I'm just overwhelmed. I was very overwhelmed in May. June, we're coming back. I'm almost booked for the rest of the year with my clients. I've had people ask me to start adding sessions. I don't know how I feel about that. I have 2 new studio sets in the studio. And I think that was part of why I felt so terrible in May too, is that I did these sets and they were super exciting and then they're done. And I'm like, now what? And that happens so much for me. And I know I'm not alone in that. We have these goals, right? I remember when I had a goal of 100,000 and then I hit the goal and I made it and I worked my ass off to get there and I was so excited. And then I'm like, now what? Those goals are important. You guys know I believe in setting goals, but the journey to get there and the person that you become getting there is even more important. because when you can reach 100,000, you know that you can go even further in your business. You know that you can take the next step to grow it exponentially. Binary action. Did you do it or did you not? My students, if any of my students are watching, especially my mentoring students, will know that that is what I asked. Did you do it? Well, no, but no. Did you do it? Yes or no? And it's not good, bad, or other. Like a lot of people think that if they say no, that they're going to be in trouble or that they're a bad person or that they suck or whatever. And the jets are flying by. That's not the case. A yes or no is not necessarily good or bad, right? Taking the action that you need to take to, oh my gosh, Air Force, don't they know Tuesday is just the tip Tuesdays? Binary action. What do you need to be doing in your business? So I work from a tracking sheet. I just made it up in Google Sheets. It's not fancy, but it is something that I do every single week, every single Monday. And it's my metrics measurement. These are the binary actions that I need to take. So the things that I track, I have two businesses, so they're a little different, but for my photography business, the things that I track are my list size, my Facebook group size. I started tracking Instagram stuff just because I think it's really interesting to me, but I'm not very good at Instagram. I'm okay with that. Traffic to my website, Pinterest, and my sessions and revenue. These are things that are must tracks. If you're not measuring it, it's not getting managed. You need to know these things. Now, if you have a goal to be published, you might add in publications in this, but instead of tracking publications, which I definitely would track. So let's not use the word instead of, let's say in addition to publications and things that were actually published, I also want you to track the number of times that you submit for publication, because statistically, you're probably going to only get yes like 10% of the time. So for every one publication, you need to submit 10 times. Are you taking that action? What's your conversion rate on your clients? For every client that contacts you, how many do you actually book? So if you get 100 emails, or let's bring it down. If you get, I'm just making the math easy, 10 inquiries a day, how many of those do you actually book and confirm? That will give you your conversion rate. Let's say you book 2 of them. You book 2 out of 10. That's 20% conversion rate. So what are you doing to reach the number that you want? If you want 100 sessions in a year, let me do, see, I tried to make the math easy. 100 times, or no, divided by 0.2. That means you have to be reaching 500 clients, 500 potential clients every year in order to book 100 if your conversion rate is 20%. And if you're listening to me and you're like rolling your eyes like, holy shit, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, Brooke. These are all numbers that we talk about. You need to know these things. These are business numbers. I know that artists are sometimes really, really hesitant to talk about these things, but if you want to run a business that's profitable and sustainable, you need to know your numbers. Amanda said, I still need a way to track this. I've been really frustrated with trying to figure out the best way to do this. I can show you guys my, let me show you my sheet. Hold on, let me get it open. It is not fancy. It's not pretty. I'm sure, Amanda, knowing that you love your systems, that you might make a copy of it. Because mine are not pretty, but that's okay. I break them down by quarter. And give me a second, I'll show them to you. Because all you have to do is track what you can control. You can't control whether a client says yes. You can't control whether a publication says yes. You can't control whether other professionals say yes to a style shoot, right? It's a numbers game though. You keep putting yourself out there. You keep figuring it out and you keep asking, because no one's going to say yes if you don't ask. Amanda said, I think that's been my hurdle. I have all the systems and I don't want more. Well, this isn't really a system. So I literally, it takes me 15 minutes every Monday. It's not, if that, it's usually more like 5 minutes. So I literally just go in every Monday and put in the numbers, and it doesn't mean anything. It's not good, bad, or other. It is just the things that give me data, and not everything gives me data. For the information every Monday. There's no secret to it. There's nothing. Oh, sorry, I hit the unshare too fast. So this is my proactive dashboard. Now, as you can see, I have not been filling this one out, which is not a good thing because, again, that's binary action, right? Did I do it? No, I did not. These are the actions that I know move me forward in my business. 5 actions every week that I know I need to take. Now this one's once a month, but these are the ones that I'm going to track every week on Monday. Now I have not been doing it. I did it last year, but reach out personally to past client. That's important to me. I like to talk to my clients. I'll reach out to them and say, hey, it's time we get you in front of the camera again. Because if you're nervous, and I learned this from Sue Bryce, if you're nervous about asking your past clients to come back, then what did you do that you're not proud of? Because there should be no reason you can't reach out to them if you're giving them an amazing client experience, right? Connect with a partner business. This could be a new partner. It could be an existing partner, just to check in, see how things are going. Attend a networking event. Now, this one does help my business. However, it is also somewhat for my mental health as well. It forces me to get out of the house. It forces me to actually see humans face to face. As you can imagine, for the last year, that one has been a little sparse. There are online networking events. It's just not the same. One blog post for my business and one email broadcast. Those are the things that I want to do every single week, because that is what will move the needle forward in my business. Now, email is a biggie. You guys, I just sent an email to my crew, my people. Why did my thingy stop? I hope I'm still streaming. I just sent an email out last week and I booked 5 sessions so far. If you guys are not using email marketing, please, please, please do. Please. If you want to book more clients, please, please, please meet them where they're at in their inbox. And you know why? I just looked at this yesterday. Holy shit, you guys. So I have a Facebook page for both of my businesses, right? I have Business Straight Up and Brooke Summer Photography. My Business Straight Up Facebook page, not my group, my page has 12,000 followers, I think, something like that. Oh, it doesn't tell you anymore, huh? Oh, isn't that fancy? Yeah, so I have 12,000 followers on my Business Straight Up Facebook page. My most recent post, guess how many people saw it? Anyone just want to guess? Guess how many people saw it? Out of 12,000 people, guess how many people saw my recent Facebook page post? I'm going to kind of take an average of the most recent. 6 people on average. Now, some were 2, some were 11. The highest was 11. Some were 5, some were 4. It is amazing to me how small our reach is on Facebook. No, Amanda gets 293. No, 6 on average. Some 10, some 2, some 1, some 0. Out of 12,000 people, you guys, 12,000 people follow my Facebook page. And that's who's seeing my posts. And yet we're constantly trying to push social media. And I'm not saying don't, because social media matters. People will look for you there. People will assume you have an account there, and that's fine. But the reach that you have on social media is so small in comparison to what you could have in email. I have an average open rate on the photography side of like 30%. Okay. So if I have a list size of 1,000, and I don't, my list is bigger than that, but people always say I'm bragging when I say stuff like that. So I'm just going to keep it low. If I have a list of 1,000, that means with a 30% open rate, 300 people are seeing those emails. And that doesn't even include the people that see them in their inbox, but don't open them. Okay, so 12,000 followers on a Facebook page with 6 views on average, or 1,000 on an email list, even at 130, you're still reaching so many more people who are literally interested and have signed up to say, I want to know what's happening with you. Why would you not use that? Email marketing, crazy, crazy, crazy important. I really, really, really would love for you to use it. So let me know if you have any questions. Binary action. What are you doing every day? Because I get in this trap too, like a lot, where I'm very busy. I'm busy. I'm doing a lot of shit. I'm very, very busy. But am I actually doing the things that I know I need to do? Am I doing the things that I know will move my business forward? Because if not, why am I doing them? And this is especially important when you're in growth mode. So right now, I'm kind of in maintenance mode. I've been running my business for a very long time. I don't need to hustle. I don't need to do those things because of where I'm at. But I do still need to do certain things. Binary action. Let me know in the comments, what are you doing to move your business forward? What do you need to do that you know will help your business? And for things like publication, quite frankly, my clients don't really care about publication. What they do care about is seeing themselves in publications. So that's the only reason that we even try. But since my team has changed with COVID, that's not something that we've been doing. And I'm okay with that. It doesn't really thrill me. I had 21 publications in 1 year. It's not my favorite thing. It's okay. But then I feel an obligation to like the magazine, to pump their magazine and market their magazine. And I'm like, I got 2 businesses to run. I don't need to market your business too. Especially since these magazines are not going to my ideal clients. Sometimes they're international. So they're going to people in Norway and Japan. They're not going to my client down the street, you know. So let me know in the comments, what are you going to do this week? Yes or no? No reason. No, well, I kind of wanted to. No, yes or no. And it's not good or bad if you don't do it. Okay, we'll talk about integrity at another time because that's something that I'm constantly working on. But what are you going to do to move your business forward this week? What are you going to do to reach out to those clients, to reach out to those people, to figure out your conversion rate? How many emails do you get every day? You get 5 every day and you book 1. That's a 20% conversion rate. That's pretty fucking good. You're probably thinking it's not because you're only booking 1, but guess what? 20% is a good conversion rate. I don't know mine offhand because I've been so busy rebooking people that had to reschedule because of COVID. So that is throwing off a ton of my rates right now. My ceiling fan keeps blowing this one hair directly in front of my eye. Sorry, that's why I keep doing this. Ceiling fan's on. So let me know in the comments what you think. What are you working on? I see you come in. Say hi. Say hi in the comments. Welcome, welcome. We're talking about binary action, taking the actions you need to take in your business, even when you don't want to. Because we're in business for freedom, right? But if you don't take the actions you need to take, you're not going to grow your business to a point where you have that freedom. Instead, you're going to be working 60 to 80 hours a week, which no one wants. You've basically made a place for you to be an employee at that point, which sucks. No one wants that. You're not going in to run a business for freedom so that you can work that much. So let me know in the comments. I love you all. Have an amazing rest of your day. Look for the podcast episode this week. It's been about a month since we put an episode out just because of my team member that handles the podcast stuff. Her entire family was sick, including the dogs. Oh, that's rough. So she's been gone, and I talk about why in the podcast and what happened. But all of these things have just added up to a very challenging month of May, but that's okay. We're making it work. We're going forward because shit happens and we got to deal with it, and it's okay. So have an amazing rest of your day. As always, if there's anything I can help you with, please let me know. I would love to help you. It means so much to me to watch other women live their dream. To know that I was able to do it, not just for my own family, but for other women to be an inspiration so that they can know it's possible. Because it's absolutely possible. I'm not some weird unicorn. I'm not someone that is like super special. I mean, I am super special, but it's not because I have some sort of weird skill that you guys don't have. Anyone can learn this stuff. Have an amazing rest of your day. I would love to help you. Let's talk soon.